Okay, thank you for joining us for this press conference following the meeting of the leaders of the members of the European Council. We are joined here by the President of the Commission and the President of the European Council. And I give the floor to Mr. Michel first.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Well, this European Council was to be difficult. There are topics where we really need to get a move on and take some very brave and complicated decisions. It looked as if it was going to be difficult too, because just until a few days ago we thought we were going to have an in-person physical meeting. And in a physical meeting you can work in different ways that you just can't do properly when it has to be a video conference. But unfortunately we had to have a video conference, so it was very important to prepare each topic very, very carefully in advance. As a result, this meeting did run well, and we've made some very important decisions on major priorities. The number one priority is, of course, COVID-19. It's been a priority for many months. It's absolutely vital, of course, that we keep on working to improve vaccine production in Europe and improve our ability to distribute those to member states. This is our absolute priority, and we are completely dedicated to that task, along with the European Commission. We are trying to take an inventory of the work that's been done. Over the next few weeks, we hope to step up and speed up the production and distribution of vaccines to member states. COVID-19 also gives us an opportunity to take stock, along with the Commission, of this whole idea of a digital green certificate, something which we can work on together and take a common stance on. So we're going to be discussing this intensively over the next few weeks. How can we have something which will help people to continue to move more freely? And this is something we're going to be working on internationally as well. And then we had other international topics on the agenda, particularly Turkey.
Eastern Mediterranean is a very important priority for the European Union, for the member states. You know also that this is a difficult debate. It's not the first time that we have this debate, and we prepared very well the conclusions that are agreed, conclusions which are based on a double idea. First, we have decided to task the Commission and the High Representative in order to propose a possible positive agenda, but conditional. It means that we hope that Turkey will maintain a moderate behavior, a positive behavior in the next weeks and in the next months. And it means that we are ready with the European Council, with the member states, to put more concrete proposals on the table in order to have a more stable, a more predictable relationship with Turkey. And we have identified the possible topics in order to improve the relationships. First, the modernization of the custom unions, people-to-people activities and mobility, and of course the migration topic. And this is our intention, to work very hard in order to be able to put some concrete proposals on the table. And we will have the opportunity to come back again in June at the level of the European Council in order, I hope, to take more formal decisions. But this step is an important step in the right direction. This is an important topic. On Russia, it was just an information point, and we intend to have on a forthcoming European Council the strategic debate on Russia, but we know what are our position, because we had the opportunity the last days to express the European position on Russia. And then we had also the opportunity to tackle some economic topics, the single market and the digital agenda. And you know that with the Green Deal, the digital ambition is one of the two fundamental pillars for the new European model, for the new European paradigm. And with the decisions that we took today, through those conclusions that we have agreed on, we give a very strong signal that we will work actively with the Commission, with the Member States, in order to use the digital ambition as leverage in order to improve the economic development, to improve the innovation, and to make clear what are our priorities in the short term, in the mid-term, and in the longer term. Je voudrais, sur ce point de la question digitale.
Now, on the digital question, let me repeat that the decisions, the guidelines which were taken today give a framework for the years to come, around which the Commission and the Member States will focus and be mobilised so that we can make progress and find this balance between, on the one hand, digital sovereignty and the wish that we have to have open economies. And that's what we want to aim for. Now, with the European Central Bank and the Eurogroup, we were able to tackle this point, the Eurozone summit, about tackling the post-COVID crisis period. And we talked about the international role of the euro, and also we agreed on a framework which will allow the member state finance ministers to work on the 4 pillars that you'll see in the conclusions, which will form the framework for this.
It's the opportunity tonight to have an exceptional Euro Summit, because for the first time in 11 years we welcomed the President of the United States. Last time it was 11 years ago with Barack Obama, and it was the opportunity for the President of the United States to express his vision about the future cooperation between the EU and the United States, and it was also the opportunity for us, the European Union, to express our very strong commitment for this fundamental transatlantic alliance. On a eu l'occasion d'identifier les sujets.
So we're able to identify the subjects that we'll be focusing on together. Of course, COVID-19 is one of them, and the need to guarantee access to vaccines and the supply chains as well. That is very important. If vaccines are going to be available everywhere in Europe, the US, and all around the world, because of the COVAX system as well, that Europe and the US are mobilized to help. And we want prosperity as well all around the world to help raise people's living standards. And to do that, we need to focus on improving our economies. And there's the climate and the digital pillar as well. And there's an important point as well. We were able to raise this. The European Union is a project focused on peace and prosperity. And it's also based on the values of the dignity of every human being, democracy and the rule of law. We know that after the atrocities of the Second World War, the United States and Europe, with other partners, laid the foundations for a multilateral world based on the rules-based order. Now, after that, that rules-based order was then put under pressure by the Soviet Union, which tried to impose its own rules. And we did what we could to make sure that democracy and the rule of law were victorious. And what we're seeing is these values of democracy and the rule of law are under pressure again. There are threats, internal and external threats, cyber attacks, hybrid attacks, information-based attacks. And more than ever now, the United States and the European Union have a responsibility for the generations to come, because we know that the decisions that we can take together on subjects such as security, democracy and stability will have an impact for years to come, for our children and our grandchildren. And it's on the basis of that conviction that we expressed our wish to engage in dialogue, as we did yesterday when Secretary of State Blinken was present here. And also we talked about how we envisage peace and security and what our responsibilities are for the future. So those were a few points I wanted to share with you. And as you will see, it was a council that we thought was going to be difficult because it was going to be, of course, unusual. We had an exceptional guest, and it's a moment which you could say is a bit of a crossroads where we have to make the right choices and choose the right directions with those partners which share the same values as we do.
Madam President,